Great. So, yeah, Joseph Ruxton, Joff for short, MPhil student in the Department of Engineering. The title of my MPhil dissertation was on smart infrastructure and its impact on urban resilience. So we have the idea that we have many resilience threats to our infrastructure, whether it be natural disasters exacerbated by climate change, aging assets, which are a particular issue in the developed world. Smart infrastructure can help mitigate some of these threats, but also has associated issues such as cybersecurity and complexity. The World Economic Forum this year identified a lot of these global risks. You might not be able to see all of them, but natural disasters, extreme weather events, failure of critical infrastructure, alongside a lot of these digital issues. So information breakdown, cyber attacks, data theft or fraud. So we have this move from critical infrastructure protection to resilience, looking at the complexity of the system, seeing how we can be adaptive, using safe-to-fail systems, being more predictive, and all against the backdrop of being more long-term in our thinking or proactive management of assets. And we have many companies that are grappling with dealing with efficiency and cost challenges, and in some ways this might impact the resilience of a project. So it's beneficial to look at where we can combine the two. For example, smart motorways that might be a more efficient use of resources, but also more adaptive and therefore more resilient. So what I was able to do is interview 25 senior individuals from many different companies. And this was able to highlight various issues. For example, the connection between these two themes of smart infrastructure and resilience. One way to start to show this qualitative data is on a canvas. These are many of the different themes that came out of the project. But just looking at the top left is resilience scoping. So the importance of not just looking at a strategic level of a company at resilience, but what it would mean for an individual project and how smart infrastructure might shape that. So again, firstly, categorizing some of these resilience threats, whether they be natural disasters, aging assets, and infusing them with some of these digital threats, cybersecurity or system failure. And through the interview, 7 key technologies were emerging. You can see them here, and these all have inherent positive and negative impacts on resilience. So taking artificial intelligence as an example might reduce human error in design, but also presents other issues. You've got something more complex. It might have resilience impacts as a result of that. Another helpful way of looking at this is what I've called an impact table, but looking at lots of different technologies and some of the positive and negative impacts on resilience. For example, BIM, where you might have a positive impact on aging assets, where you can manage risk in a better way, but may cause a focus more on the geography of physical assets rather than perhaps systems. And this is bringing it all together, so looking at some of the inherent positive and negative effects on resilience of technologies and seeing how you can leverage this within a business to improve resilience of infrastructure. This is a longer list, 10 items that's particularly important, but just to pick 2 out, which are interdependencies and complexity, which is particularly caused by infusing digital tools. And also scenario planning, which is a very useful way of looking at different threats on an infrastructure asset and how smart infrastructure might help with that. So to conclude, the impact of this research could be on critical assets in power, transport, water networks, but by considering resilience alongside efficiency, we can help secure the future of some of our critical infrastructure assets. So thank you very much and look forward to any questions in the vote.